Hello everyone and welcome to my Doctor Who questions and answers video part 2. A week ago I asked you all for some questions in a community post about Doctor Who, and I compiled a list of all of the ones that I could find, or some of the most similar ones, and if I haven't answered your question or if there's a new question that pops in your head during this video, make sure to comment down below and I will try to reply to as many people as possible. Oh no, the stumbling and ramblings is already beginning. I don't know how long this video is going to be. It could be an hour, could be a half an hour, could be an hour and a half. I don't know. Let's just talk Doctor Who. The first question comes from Futek. I'm gonna butcher names, I'm sorry in advance. Do you think that Tectuine, the Doctor's adopted mother, may actually be Rassilian? Again, I really hope I'm pronouncing those right, because it is implied that he was the founding father of Gallifrey, as is she. If not, what do you think the relationship between him and her is? It's very interesting, as they both seen as important beings of Time Lord society. That is interesting. We didn't really get a lot of the nitty-gritty details of everything that happened. We kind of got the footnotes, and I'm very curious to see if season 13 will be about those details, kind of how the Doctor was brought up, how she doesn't remember everything, what exactly happened, and who's Gat, who's Ruth, who is everybody, really. It opens up a world of possibilities, and I'm very interested to see what that looks like. Your theory isn't totally off base. I mean, nothing's off base with Doctor Who. 50 years from now, I bet all of this is either going to be a distant, oh, remember when that happened? Or it's going to be a staple in Doctor Who history. You know, it's forever changing, this show. The second question comes from Sebastian. The 60th anniversary is coming and the BBC has asked me, Shayla, to make a story involving 13, 12, 11, 10, and another Doctor of your choosing. What will you do? Oh, since I don't know that much about classic, I couldn't really choose another Doctor. You know, I wouldn't feel right choosing another Doctor, so I'd probably make this massive poll online for everyone to choose a Doctor of their, you know what I mean, of their favorite, or someone that they would like to see reunite with everybody again. And I had to make a story. The tricky thing, I should say, is, you know, obviously over time these actors have aged, and when you're the Doctor, it's one of those things where it's like, well, how are you aging? Because we already kind of know where your story goes. So it would have to be something where it would make sense why they all look older. There was a thing in 12's final episode where, or no, it's called The Matrix, right? Where everything's uploaded. Maybe all of those uploads got downloaded and they happen to be progressed in age as they would be. However, it's a story involving that. They all have to come together, maybe to stop all 3 masters, or all however many masters you want. That would be a cool story. The next question comes from Manic. Do you ever intend to react to some old Who? Interesting question you posed there. So if you haven't seen my live stream from last week, I was thinking about it and I was like, I don't know how to approach classic Who, and I don't know if I'm going to love it, you know? So I was thinking about posting a poll of the most requested or most popular episodes, or an episode that you think that I would like in order to get into classic Who, and make a poll and then react to that episode. I don't know when I'll post this. It's probably going to be a community post, but I was thinking about doing that. Would that be something that you all are interested in? Elliot Marlowe asks, how would you feel about a new series of Torchwood now that Jack's back? I would, oh well, I know that there's an audio, like Big Finish did a series 5 and 6, I think, of Torchwood, and I haven't listened to those, and I don't know what goes down in that, and if it would go against anything, or if it's a huge popularity, or if people really like the story, you know what I mean? Like, I don't really know what happens in those. So I would either have to listen to those and then have this new series, or this new series is totally different. You know, Jack's life is, I think, 4 billion or 3.9 billion years old, or something to that magnitude. So you could always put him in a new situation and it could be different. But I would like to see, if there was new Torchwood, I would have to see Gwen back. Gwen has to be with Jack if they want to continue Torchwood. She is as much Torchwood as he is, you know what I mean? And of course, the possibility of bringing back all the other guys too, even though they're all dead. I would still want it. I would still want at least Gwen and Jack together. That's the only way Torchwood would work. Ooh, that question went away. Okay. What do you think of this version of the Master? Who is your favorite if you have one? This is a question that I've kind of been dreading a little bit. I have put a lot of thought into this, and I still am not sure. I love this version of the Master. Mainly, I love the acting that goes into it. Sasha is such a good actor, and he brought a level of chaos to the role that's hit a magnitude that I didn't think was ever going to happen. It's like if Missy and John Sims' Master was turned up to an 11, and Missy's playfulness turned up to an 11, combined in one person. And the question on who's my favorite is hard, because a part of me wants to say this version, Sasha's version. I think I was so in awe of his acting. That's what kind of elevates that character for me. However, if I had to pick one to have constantly, it would be Missy. So I don't know, because Missy had a lot of layers. You know, she wasn't as much of a wild card, but she was. And I think she edges out just a little bit. But if we see more of Sasha's, I can't be hold to that opinion. Austin Mosley asks, so now I'm curious about where the two hearts come into play, because it's stated that all Time Lords have two hearts, but if it's not that the Doctor's species, then why does the Doctor have two? Or maybe the Doctor's always had two, but why do the Time Lords? Interesting question. My only guess is that whenever Tectuine put the regeneration energy in her, she regenerated, and then he, because she regenerated into a man, he had two hearts. It just happened. That's my only guess to why that would work, because there's no other explanation. I don't see another way for that to work, or at least right now in my head. So that's my guess on how that worked, Austin. Daniel Cooper asks, what are your thoughts on this season's interpretation of the Master? How does he compare to previous Masters, mostly John Sim and Michelle Gomez? Loved him, as I said a little earlier, loved him, hope he comes back. Do you think it was a good idea or a bad idea to go back to having the Master be an outright psychopath despite the growth of the character in season 10? That all depends on where you think this Master is in the timeline. I think that he is pre-Missy. I think that whenever she had that conversation with the Doctor in series 10 about burning planets and she cried, I think that was her talking about Gallifrey. I don't know how that would work. I think maybe she went back in time to a previous Doctor so she could talk to him and everything like that. Maybe this Master, Sasha's Master, burnt the bridge so bad with the Doctor in the future that he couldn't go back. And then when he eventually regenerated, Missy decided to go back to 12. And that way none of the, I guess, none of the progress that character made went away. It's also one of those things where we could easily see the Master, or Missy, regenerate into Sasha and then find this out about the Doctor and just explode. it's this character's so unpredictable, we have no idea. But in my head, in my canon, which I don't think we'll ever get a clear explanation on where this master is at, because that's Doctor Who, I'm saying it's pre-Missy. That's the guess. Owen asks, what do you think is going to happen in the next seasons? And who do you think would be a perfect actor slash actress to play the Doctor in the future? I have no predictions for next series or next seasons. I think I know what's going to happen in the special, possibly. My guess is that Captain Jack is going to come back, get the fam, and rescue the Doctor. Maybe River Song shows up. I hope River Song shows up at a certain point because I want to see her and her wife kick ass. And who do you think would be a perfect actor slash actress to play the Doctor in the future? I've said in the past that Alfred Enoch, I would love for him to play the Doctor. I know that he has ties to the classic Who, so him playing the Doctor would be my #1 pick. Tyler X asks, what's one thing you didn't like about each of the new Doctors? People always ask what you did like about the Doctors, but never the other end. So I'm curious too if there's anything that bugged you about each of the Doctors. For me, 8.5 Regeneration because reasons always irked me as an example. For me, I actually wrote this down. I did some preparation because I had to go through the questions and there were some that took long-winded answers. These aren't necessarily complaints. These are more just me wishing something was different. For 9, his run was too short. I wanted to see more of 9. I wanted to see his Doctor evolve, you know, and the thing is, the seamless transition from 9 to 10, I think, is him evolving in a way. But I would have liked to see more of him because he has a soft spot. He was my first Doctor. He's always gonna have a soft spot for me. For 10, I would like better episodes for him, specifically some in series 2. There was a stretch of episodes that were just like, oh, I wish they were better. I wish there was more rich stories with him and Rose. 11, more of a request again. I would have wanted more one-on-one time with him and River, like just a whole episode with him and River Song. I would have loved that. And then more one-on-one time with Rory. I know that he had a special bond with Amy, but I would like to see him more scenes with Rory. 12, same with 10. I would have liked to have more. He did have really rich episodes, like series 9 there was some fantastic episodes, but I would like to have more, and there's not a lot I can complain about. 12, he is my favorite Doctor. 13, there's a couple things I would have loved for her to interact with the companions more. I think the problem with series 12 or series 11 and 11 and 12, there we go. I was like, what numbers, huh? Where, who? Is that I haven't felt that bond that the companions and the Doctors have with each other with 13 and her fam. So I would have liked to have more with those guys. Again, I don't know what's in the future of Doctor Who. That could happen. But I only started really feeling that at the end of series 12, and I found that a bit disappointing. And I also want for 13 a moment of, holy shit, I can't believe she did that. Just something that blows me out of the water. I think I've had that with all of the other Doctors, but I haven't had that moment with 13. I've definitely been in awe of her. There have been moments this season where I've gone back and been like, holy shit, you know? But I think that specifically is what I don't like. Not really don't like, it's more just like I would like this to change. Ian King asks, do you know what the special will be called? I do know I know what it entails. I don't know the full title. I know that it entails a monster we haven't seen in a bit. I was a little bit spoiled on that. To be fair, there's no way I'm not going to see at least one spoiler before the next episode comes out, but I don't know the full title of it. I just know it involves a monster. No, I won't give it anything away if you don't. Also, the special is supposed to be airing around Christmas Sweet. Oh, what a great Christmas present. Do you believe we will see Captain Jack again? Yes, I said a little bit earlier that I think Captain Jack is going to be a part of the Christmas special. Here's the thing. I know that they filmed the Christmas special within the, filming of series 12. So there's no way that John Barrowman only filmed that scene and didn't film anything else. The fact that he didn't appear in the finale makes me think that even more. So if Captain Jack, or if I find out that John Barrowman's going to be in the special, I'm not going to be surprised. I'll be happy, but I won't be surprised. But when I'm watching it and I have managed to avoid spoilers till then, and if Captain Jack shows up on my screen, I'm just going to be just as excited if I knew going into it if he was into it or not, if that makes any sense. Oh, no. Wibbly Wobbly, great name, asks, do you want to see the current companions return next series or have new ones or just one? Very interesting question. Here's the thing. I think that Jodie's run would benefit from having one companion with her. Whether it be a new person or one of the fam, which if I had to pick one of the fam to stay with her, I just spat a little bit. If I had to pick one, it would be Yaz. Reason being is I feel like her and Yaz have the most connection out of the three. The way in the final episode or the season 10, oh wow, series 10, what? Season 12, episode 10 finale was when Yaz took a hold of the doctor and said, don't go. That right there, that clicked something for me. They have a connection, I think, a little bit deeper. So if I would pick one to stay, it would be her. And I would like to see where that relationship goes. So that's and if not, I would like to have just one companion with her. Tyler Bailey asks, shag, marry, kill. River, Clara, the 13th Doctor. No, the Doctor can't regenerate in this hypothetical situation. This is mean. This is really mean. Oh no. I can't kill Clara. I just can't. I have to marry Clara. She is my favorite and I love her, so I'm marrying Clara. The thing is, if I kill River, there's a possibility she's always gonna pop back up. You know what I mean? She's very elusive. She's very everywhere. She is constantly in the timeline, and there's a chance she's gonna come back. So I feel safe in my choice of marrying Clara, shagging 13, and killing River. I don't know. What do you guys think? If that's a question I'm gonna pose. What do you think? I think I'm gonna have two questions because there's another question coming up that I really like and I want to see other people's opinions on it, but that's one of them. That's as good as I got. I can't, because if I think too much about it, I'm gonna want to change that decision, and no. Darkness Pac-Man asks, what do you think about the Doctor being the timeless child fitting into 11 not regenerating in time of the Doctor, Day of the Doctor ending with Tom Baker, 12th Doctor hybrid story, the hybrid being the master because of the prophecy, the hybrid will walk. Ooh, here's the thing. I read a thing where Stephen Moffat, I think that's how you pronounce it, Moffat says that in his head, Clara and the Doctor are the hybrid. So I've always been on that train of thought because the showrunner who wrote it said it, and I'm gonna tend to agree with the showrunner. But again, it's Doctor Who. You can change things to your interpretation, or you can change things to how you think it should be. So that is a good point. And I said this in my finale reaction, that I was like, oh, 11 probably nothing was gonna happen. The Gallifrey was probably messing with him going, oh, he needs more regenerations? Okay, let's fake this, you know? So that's my guess on how that happened. Rob Van Riot, oh, I don't know if that's right. Do you sometimes wish that all the people who claim to hate the show and say they won't watch it anymore would actually go ahead and do it rather than leaving toxic comments on my channel or on my videos? Yes, I had not a lot, but a few toxic or rude questions about series 13 and about series 13, about the 13th Doctor and about series 12 and 11. If you really hate the show, like you hate it with all your being, why are you watching it? You know, there has to be some part of you that still loves it for you to keep watching this far. You know, if I really hated a TV show, I wouldn't watch it. I've done it in the past. There have been decisions in TV shows in the past where I've been like, yeah, I'm out. I'm out. That will never happen with the show for me because I love it. But if you really hate it, don't spread toxic hate to other people who like it. It's just my 2 cents for the day. Matt Coles asks, or says, I think it would be awesome if you ranked all the seasons of New Who. Thank you for great videos. This is a tentative list. I don't know if this is right. This is just the first thing that came to my head a little while ago, so I'm just going to read out my series rankings. Season rankings. From my favorite to my least favorite. 4, 9, 5, 6, 1, 3, 8, 7, 2, 12, 10, 11. So that's my favorite to my least favorite. My favorite series is 4. My least favorite is 11. That's what I got there. So yeah, that's again tentative list. If I really sat down and thought about it and analyzed everything, it might be different, but that's just going off the top of my noggin. Gostrobo 100 says, do you think we will learn about what memories were time locked for the Doctors? Yes, I have a feeling we're going to learn that next series. Sebastian again asked, what is a monster or villain you would like to see return that we haven't seen in a long time? Weeping Angels. I think Weeping Angels would be really cool, and I think that if River's not in the Christmas special, having her be brought back kind of like how she was brought into Matt Smith's reign, that would be pretty sweet. Cobra Kai asks, that's a great name, this is probably too early to ask this question, but do you have any expectations for Series 13? I hope we get Jack back. I hope we have River. I hope we have one companion. I hope we get more answers into specifically Ruth and Gat and all that stuff. Yeah, those are some expectations for Series 13. C-Mac asks, which Doctor has the best costume? I love 13's outfits. It kind of changes. She has a varied amount of outfits, but 12's velvet red coat is my favorite. I think it will always be my favorite. Blick Rhino 79 asks, 2.5 series is the absolute longest a companion has stayed on the show, at least in New Who. So why does it feel like we just got these guys? Because they just started fleshing out these characters recently. What they should have done is flesh out the companions last season and flesh out the Doctor this season. But they kind of dropped the ball a little bit when it comes to the companions. I do have to say that. And that's why I was so nervous going into the finale, because I didn't want these guys to go. I just started loving them. But hopefully we'll have someone stick around from that group. Robin asks, hi, out of many Doctor Who episodes you've reacted to, which one made you fall in love with the show? Also, like many fans, I'm assuming you share the deep and abiding love we all have for River, of course. Which of her episodes is your favorite? I wrote this down. I went back to series 1 because that's when I really started loving the show, and Unquiet Dead was the first episode that it really hit the groove. I remember watching that episode and being like, I need to watch it all right now. That was the one. Parting of the Ways does get a special shout out because it was the moment that I became obsessed with the show. And my favorite River episodes, it's 2 episodes, sorry. Well, mainly it's just all of season 6. If I had to pick one thing, it would be all of season 6. But the first 2-parter for series 6, it had so much River in it, and she had so many great moments in it. That would be my favorite episodes for River. Kieran asks, who is your favorite companion or companions? My favorite companion is Clara. It'll always be Clara. Yeah, that's if you see my reactions, you know how much I love Clara, and she's my favorite. Sean Red, hi Sean, asks, I'm annoyed that I can't come up with a question that will make you agonize over stuff as much as last time. It was a favorite doctor question. But if you could cast any actor from any other show as a doctor, who would you choose? I have two that spring to my mind: Charlie Heaton, Jonathan Byers from Stranger Things, or our boy Tom Ellis, Lucifer. And he would become the third man to take the main role after having a guest role first, the others being Colin Baker and Peter Capaldi. I mentioned earlier Alfred Enoch. However, if I had to grab someone from a show that I watch, like on TV right now, it would be Ian DeCasteker. I cannot believe I have left that man out of my thoughts and my, previous statements on who I want to be the Doctor. Ian DeCasteker, he's from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He is one of the finest actors that I have ever seen. Please watch that show or just watch some of his scenes, him acting in it. He's fantastic, and I think he would make a great Doctor. Samir, I'm assuming it's Samir. Sorry if I butchered that. What was the most emotional companion exit for you? Most emotional companion exit. It's a tie between Rose and Clara. Fuck, I don't know which one. I don't know. Oh, that's so hard. It's a tie between those two. I can't pick. Leading on from that, if you were the companion and you had to pick your fate to either forget your memories like Donna, being sent back to the past by a weeping angel and never see the Doctor again like Amy, or be stuck in a parallel Earth by yourself, but remember, even you meet your family and friends in that parallel universe, they are still not your family and your friends that you know and love, what would you pick? What an awful freaking question! Why? If I could have my own Rory, I'm picking Amy's fate. If I could have my own Rory. I think also that is the least bad out of everything, even though with Donna you don't remember, but I wouldn't want to forget. I couldn't forget those memories. Well, okay, so it's Amy. I pick Amy. However, the next right up would be Donna, and then Rose would be last. That would just be terrible. Unless I get my own version of the Doctor, specifically David Tennant, I would be very, very happy. Recap Squad asks, which incarnation of the Doctor would you want to be a companion to? I've always said 11 in my head. I think we would balance each other out. However, 13 has a track record of keeping her companions alive, so I might have to go with 13. So I'm going with 13 because lack of death. However, 11 would be my second choice, I think. Mike Barlow asks, putting the Doctor in a prison has raised one possibility for the end of the year, since I'm not sure it'd be Christmas or New Year special: the return of Professor Riversong. Any questions about this? Oh, any thoughts on this, sorry? Or is this just wishful thinking? I hope so. She's in a prison. River's been in a prison. Prison break. Come on. It would be fantastic. Nick H asks, what would be your breaking point for the show? Like maybe not stop watching it, but stop reacting to it like you've done with The Flash. This most recent episode seems to have killed a lot of joy people have in the show. To the people who have lost that spark or no longer want to watch Doctor Who because of this episode, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you feel that way. For me, Doctor Who is always about change and changing canon, changing history, changing everything. So for me, if I didn't like it, I do like it. I do like how this panned out. If I didn't like it, I would just be like, well, maybe the Master's lying. Maybe this is all a show. You know what I mean? Or I would not limit to who the Doctor was before. Like that line in the season finale was brilliant. I don't think anything would kill my enjoyment for this show. I already pick and choose episodes that I react to. You know what I mean? I already do that. So for me, it's a show. It's my favorite show. I mean, it's tied up there with Game of Thrones, and it might edge out Game of Thrones. So it's I do not see this show ever becoming something that I would not like to watch. Jonah asks, in the beginning of series 12, they delve back into the idea of multiple dimensions / universes. Do you think we could see Rose again with the 10th Doctor clone? I would love to see Rose again. The only thing is that I wouldn't want to have our Rose Tyler, the one that's in the recording, the one that's in the parallel world with 10, not without each other. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want that story to be touched. But if Rose came back as, say, you know what I mean, something else, like the moment or something specific like that, I wouldn't mind it. But I want Rose to come back with her Doctor, because that's just in my head, they're out, they're adventuring together, they are exploring everything together, and they're married and maybe have children. I don't know, but that's just my hopes and dreams, because I'm such a sucker for 10 Rose. Live, Love, Laugh asks, if you could change a companion's exit, which one would you change? Interesting question. The thing is, I don't think I would change any of them. As much as my heart aches for Rose and how she left, even though right now she's in a way better spot than she was, or Donna, or Clara, or Amy and Rory, or Bill, I wouldn't want to change it, because they were such great stories, you know what I mean? I mean, if I had to change one, maybe Amy and Rory's, but again, they had something that was, I guess, in a sense, perfect to them. I don't know. I don't think I could change anything. It's such a cop-out answer, but it's true. Boom090 asks, what was your favorite episode of the series and why? My favorite episode, I've gone back on this so many times, but it has to be episode 8. Episode 8 was so good. It reminded me so much of a previous Doctor episode. It had a twist I didn't see coming with the Cybermen, and great moments. The Doctor gave a great speech, the first great speech of the season, of her series, a run actually, and I loved it. I loved every aspect of it, and that's an episode I will rewatch over and over again because I loved it that much. Episode 5 being second favorite, but episode 5 was so much in that episode. Episode 8, I can watch it without thinking like, what the fuck is going on? That sort of thing. Joshua Lawrence asks, with the Doctor being the timeless child, do you believe that the Doctor is now an immortal character? Yes. I think eventually one day the show will end. I don't know, because it could go on for, I guess, in a sense, 10 more years. Say it goes on for another 10 more years. Then at about 50, it could be rebooted again. You know what I mean? So this show is forever changing, but I think in a sense, yes, she is immortal. Also, do you believe Series 12 is a huge improvement from Series 11 storylines? Absolutely. Series 12 is great. I love Series 12. There were some weak episodes, or for 55. That's literally, everyone hates that episode, so it's not like a... But there were more good episodes than that for me, and I really liked it. I would love to go back and rewatch it. Domino, we need to know your thoughts on Yaz and the Doctor, since you never mentioned it in any of your actions. Interesting question, or thought process, or whatever you want to call it. I know people ship them. I've seen them online. I've seen, what's it called? It's called like, oh shit, what's their ship name called? Phasmine, right? Am I correct on that? Hopefully. I've seen the shippers out there. I don't hate it. Again, she would be my pick. If I could pick one of them to stay on with her for the next series, she would be my pick. And if that were to be, I don't think it'll ever be a thing, because the Doctor and romantic relationships have always been wobbly, wibbly wobbly. I don't think it would be anything that major, but I could see it being equated to Rose or even Clara, you know what I mean? Like that sort of like, oh, there's something, like, you know, that sort of thing. I don't hate it. That's all I have to say on that. I don't hate it. Meaning, quote unquote, I wouldn't mind it, you know? Space Penguins, oh, what a great name. Space Penguins asks, how nope. Has Series 12 improved your opinion on Chris Chibnall as showrunner Series 11 to now and Jodie as the Doctor? 100% Jodie as the Doctor. It's interesting because I was trying to figure out where to place her in my favorite Doctor rankings. I think I have to wait until after her series is over, or her run is over. I relate so much to 13. I see myself so much when I'm watching her. So putting her in that list has been very difficult, and I don't think I would be able to do it. Only reason being is because it would be like I would rank myself to those people. You know what I mean? Oh, she's just, everything that she does, I am like, oh, I do that. I do that, and I do that, I do that. But it's definitely elevated Jodie. I love this Doctor. I'm there. Like, I'm there for her. And for Chris, I'm interested. I can't give my opinion on him. I think he's gotten better, obviously. I think he's read some of the things that were said and was like, okay, we need to lean back, or we need to lean away from certain things. But I have to see how the rest of his run goes before I give a full opinion, because I don't know what next series entails. I will, though, and I'm very excited for it. Kermit the Frog. Oh, Kermit the Frog, I'm famous. Kermit the Frog asks, what do you think of the new composer for the score of the Chibnall era so far? I like him. There were only three tracks from the Series 11 soundtrack that I saved. Sonic Screwdriver, My Fam, and the 13th Doctor's theme. However, I noticed so many more themes and so much more music this series, and I'm so excited for the soundtrack to come out in April. So I like him. No Murray Gold, but I like him. Joe Duffy. What's your favorite part about each Doctor's personality? For instance, the more comical 10th Doctor, or his more fiery side that shows his fury? Edit. Sorry, I was so concentrated on the question that I didn't say thank you, Shayla. You always show the show, weird wording, in a positive light where others may like to hate it, and I appreciate it. And of course, your engagement in Doctor Who's story is very commendable. All in all, thank you for emotional roller coaster you let us all ride on with you. Thank you very much, Joe Duffy. Those comments always make me very happy, and make me happy that I've continued to. That's what I was getting sentimental. My camera battery dies. How annoying. But as I was saying, I always love those comments. They make me feel so good, and they make me feel good about the fact that I've continued to react this long. There have been moments where I'm like, I don't know if I want to continue to react to shows to the scale, and I've toned down, as you can tell, over the past couple months or whatever, and I'm going to continue to do that, or kind of like only react to things I'm really super passionate about, and Doctor Who just happens to be one of them, and I get so many freaking great comments about it. Just thank you for that. But to answer your question, what is my favorite part about each of the Doctor's personalities? I wrote this down. 9's sassiness and sarcasm is so good. 10, his love for people, for his companions, for everything. He's so passionate. 11, the dorkiness, the just like goofball dorkiness, but also when he gets fiery so good. 12, everything. Is that biased because he's my favorite Doctor? Yes. Do I care? No. He's my favorite. Everything about him I love. And then 13, especially this season, her fury. She can get so mad, and the way she does it, it's like a wave. It's beginning, it's getting bigger, 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 and then it crashes, and it takes you back, you know, because you didn't see that wave forming. Love it. I love that. And also, she's funny as hell. I laugh so much whenever she has one-liners, and her, in a sense, like I said earlier, like I see myself in this character. So for me, it's like just different attributes. I love it. I love it so much. Ryan Pollard asks, hey Shayla, I've been loving your Doctor Who videos. I'm super glad you love the 12th Doctor and Zara as much as I do. Oh, thank you very much. In regards to Series 12, I have 2 questions. Where does Series 12 rank along the other 11 seasons? Said it earlier, but it ranks pretty low on the list, but it's not my least favorite. Not my least favorite. And are you okay with the whole Doctor Timeless Child origin story? Keep up the awesome work. Thank you, Ryan. I am okay with the whole Doctor Timeless Child's origin story. Again, I don't have an attachment towards the classic Who era, So that might change if I were to ever delve into Classic Who, that might change. But for now, I like it. And also, it's one of those things where, again, Doctor Who's about change, and the story is constantly changing. And again, this could all be written differently 50 years from now. And it's not, for me, again, I haven't seen Classic Who, so I don't know. But for me, this isn't taking away anything. It's just adding stuff. Yeah, yeah. Thomas Scott asks, favorite 13th Doctor moment, and should we get a Ruth spin-off series? I don't think we should get a Ruth spin-off series. I think that her sticking around the Doctor Who universe every now and then is good enough for me. And the favorite 13th Doctor moment, ooh, that's hard. It's hard because I have my mind immediately goes to episode 8 and the speech that she gave. Or her going after the Master when she was about to send all of her fam away in the TARDIS. So vulnerable and such a powerful moment. I loved it. Probably a combination of the two of those moments. Yeah, that's not, it's slowly, my voice is starting to get more gravelly the more I talk. I don't even know how long I've been talking for. Schmat S, I know what this question is going to be, and it was hard. Which Hogwarts house would each Doctor get sorted into? Also, would love to see your brother and react to Doctor Who together. Pay him to do it if you must. I have offered him money, and he has still refused. I'm gonna try, guys. Wouldn't it be great that we have my brother reacting to Doctor Who, like, to do this thing, and then by the time that he is caught up or starting to catch up, series 12, or sorry, the Christmas special and series 13 will be a thing. Wouldn't that be great? All the comments are like, get your brother to do it. I'm gonna try, but I don't think it's going to happen. Maybe if I just keep asking. I don't think that'll work. Anyway, to answer your question, which Hogwarts house would each Doctor get sorted into? I struggled deeply with this question. And again, this is a tentative list. This is my gut instinct. This is what it is. And I could go back and change this, but these are just some of my thoughts. I think 9 is Gryffindor. He was very much going. Like, he went in there, he was very brave, he went into situations that he probably shouldn't have went into. He was sassy, he was fiery. That's why I'm putting 9 in Gryffindor. 10, this was hard. First I thought Slytherin. Because sometimes he's very cunning, and sometimes he's selfish, but I ended up with Gryffindor. Again, he was also very, like, just, I'm brilliant, very egotistical, very, you know, look at me, like that sort of, like, just, come on, look at me, that mentality. So that's why I put him in Gryffindor. For 11, this might be a hot take, I don't know. 11 I'm putting in Slytherin. Reason being is I feel like he was cunning. He was undercut. He did things that other Doctors would be like, or really? You know, you're doing this right now? And he was selfish sometimes. But also he loved so deeply, so deeply, and yeah, I put him in Slytherin. For 12, again, that was a struggle. It was a combination. Initially, I thought Slytherin, but then I thought Ravenclaw with his constant needing to know and wanting to know and his not really knowing how to you know, that sort of thing. Even like 12 is a combination, I think, of so many. I think he's a combination of Ravenclaw, Slytherin, and even Hufflepuff, you know. He's such a question mark to me. And then 13 I put in Hufflepuff because, come on, she's a Hufflepuff. I can't see Gryffindor maybe, but Hufflepuff. That was the first one that I wrote down. I was like, this is the one that I'm, you know, most sure on. Richard King asks, what would you think of a spin-off series about the Doctor's early years working for the Division? I don't know, depending on who would helm it, you know what I mean? Depending on who would write that series, because it's kind of like we would just get Doctor Who, but more of a, it would be like Doctor Who and Torchwood combined. Obviously probably not as dark as Torchwood, but it'd be that kind of like, oh, the Doctor's working for an organization instead of just a free traveler going around space-time, that sort of thing. So maybe that would be it just depends on who's writing it and what that would entail, and anything that, I mean, yeah, I'd probably watch it. John A asks, do you think they'll ever explain / justify Ruth's doctor having a TARDIS shaped as a police box? Do you have a theory? I don't know why, but it's really bugging me because it doesn't fit in with the idea that she's pre-Hartnell. I don't know. Ruth is such a question mark to me. Because is she a part of the Doctor's lost memories? I don't know. I don't know why she has the police box. I literally don't know. You asked this question, I couldn't give you an answer. I couldn't give you a theory. I don't know. But I can see why that would irk some people or bug some people. That would be something I'm like, but why? Because it's something that's been explained. So like, why does Ruth have it? I don't know. I don't know, but maybe we'll find that out next season. Mario Adams Gaming asks, what is the most well-written and flawless New Who story in your opinion? Not specifically your favorite story, but one you feel was just TV / sci-fi genius. Mine are The Waters of Mars and Silence of the Library, Forest of the Dead. Good picks. For me, my instinct is to say Heaven Sent. Heaven Sent was so good. You didn't know what was going on. There was a twist. It was emotional. It had so many, there wasn't a lot of sci-fi involved, but it was just such a beautiful story, and I think that's a universally loved episode, so I would have to pick that one. That one, it's genius. It was genius, and I loved it. I loved it so much. Alfredo Massa asks, don't you think the whole timeless child story makes us see the Doctor in a different way? As the Master said in the finale, the Doctor always behaved as there was something special about him / her. And turns out there actually was. How do you feel about the Doctor being someone more important than we were expected, rather than just a traveler, an idiot with a box and screwdriver passing through, helping out? It's not surprising to me, you know. For me, the Doctor has always been special before we found out this information. You know, she was always different from everybody else. She was always wanting more, doing more, helping more. So this doesn't change her in my head of being special, because she always was. And we're watching her story. I just think it adds a layer to that specialness, if that makes any sense. Crazy Scherf asks, what is your personal saddest moment in Doctor Who? And if you had to pick, whose regeneration is your favorite? My favorite regeneration is 9. No, it's 11. Nope, 9, 11. Episode-wise, 9 was my favorite. Regeneration-wise, 11, because I did not expect Amy Pond to be walking down those stairs, and that got me good. That got me good. You could see it in my reaction. But personal saddest moment in Doctor Who? Oh no, it's a tie. I can't say that. I have to pick one. What almost made me stop watching the show? Maybe 10's regeneration. I'm gonna go with 10's regeneration very loosely. Again, Clara and Doomsday were just an attack on my eyeballs because tears fell out of them. But 10's regeneration, I think. Steve's M4 asks, do you think the companions and maybe their new friends will use the house / TARDIS to go looking for the Doctor? Do they know how to fly it? I don't think they know how to fly it. That's the only problem, right? So they don't know how to... They probably have an idea watching the Doctor, but but I don't think they would know how to... Because no one knew how to fly the TARDIS except for River and Clara. Clara? She could fly. Yeah, She has her own TARDIS. Those are the only two that I remember. Everyone flew the TARDIS in Journey's End, but that was a group effort. And I don't know how long these companions have been with 13, so I don't think that they would be able to utilize that house TARDIS. But maybe Jack could. I don't know. We don't. Jack's a mystery, man. Yeah, we know a lot about him, but he's a mystery. If so say they do use the house. If so, will they bump into Ruth or even Clara and me? Incidentally, do you think that hell-bent events on Gallifrey happen before the events of this episode or afterwards when Gallifrey is somehow restored? Interesting. I was thinking, I was like, Clara, if she's still out there and she decides now or in the future to finally go back to Gallifrey to face the Raven, and she just goes back there and it's just an empty ass spot in the middle of space, what the hell is she gonna do? If Clara didn't go back before Gallifrey got destroyed, or you know, maybe sometime down the line it'll be back again, and of course it probably will because it's Gallifrey. They're getting destroyed, restored in like every 5 years. But right now she could go back and it's literally not there, and she's like, what the fuck? You know, like, what? You know, so just, what? And then her mind can immediately go to the doctor and be like, what did you do? Why? You know, that sort of thing. I would love, wouldn't that be just great to have her come back and just knock on the TARDIS door? Like, they're in the middle of space, her and whoever's going to be her companion for next series. There's a knock on the door and Clara opens it, and she opens up the door. It's Clara. She's like, what the hell did you do? And boom, like, next episode or whatever. I would love it. I would love it if they were to run into anybody, really. But yeah, that's just a thought. I went on a little bit of a tangent, but I was like, oh, what if this happened? Also, like, whenever Clara went back through the Doctor's lives, did she see anything else? I don't know, because would that affect, because it's like, oh, would it only be the ones that the Doctor remembers? I don't know. Just James asks, if you had to pick one companion to be stuck on a desert island with... I said that right. I was like, did I say desert? Oh no, it's all starting to just... all my thoughts and all the words are just that way now. Who would it be and why? Who would be most beneficial for me to hopefully get off that island? Martha. I feel like she would be very intuitive and very smart. Oh, it might actually be Martha. I was gonna go with Clara because she's the Dr. Mini-Me, and I feel like she would be able to help. But I think I'm gonna have to go with Martha, because she traveled the world for a whole year and she has the tactical, like, mindset, and she's a doctor. I'm gonna go with Martha. I'm gonna go with Martha Jones on that one. Harry Liam Reeves asks, if you were in charge of deciding who the next companion should be, what kind of characters would you choose and how many? Now, this is the thing. I've already said earlier that I would pick Yaz to be the companion that we stick around with next series. However, if I couldn't pick any of the fam, I would want one person, like I said, and what kind of character? I don't know if it should be someone that challenges this Doctor, kind of like, you know, Donna Doctor in a way, or if it's someone that knows stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what would be best for the Doctor to evolve. Maybe someone to challenge her. I think that would actually be fun to watch. If I couldn't have Yaz next season, or I couldn't have one of the fam or anything like that, I think I'd pick someone that would challenge the Doctor. Lewis Hennessy asks, if you were to cast a non-British actor to play the Doctor, who would it be and why? I took time to think about this. By time I meant about 5 minutes or so, and I thought of 2 people. And again, this is tentative. By the time this video is uploaded, I could have a million other options in my head, but these are the first 2 people that came to my mind. I would either pick Nathan Fillion, because Nathan Fillion is basically kind of like the sci-fi king in a sense. He is so good, and I feel like he would make a great Doctor. Or and this is probably because I just watched a movie with her in it recently, Anna Kendrick. I've seen probably most of Anna Kendrick's movie, and she has, like, I've never seen her play the same character twice. So for me, I feel like she would bring a good layered performance of the Doctor, but Nathan Fillion would be probably my top pick because he's so cool and I love him. I feel like he would have such a good time in that role and he would be so, yeah, Nathan Fillion for sure. Sep Slither Gaming asks, if the writers decide to bring back a Doctor for 2 seasons, which Doctor would you like to see return? That's a horrible question. It's so, I don't know. I mean, 12 is my favorite. Well, that's the other thing too. If a Doctor comes back, do his or her companions come back with him? Like, cause if I'm like, oh, I want 10 back, I'd want to see him with Donna, Martha, or Rose. Or if I pick 11, I'd want to see him with Clara or Amy or Rory. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I would want to... well, okay. No. I don't know. All of them. 9. Do you know why? Because we haven't had enough of him. I would like to see him come back. I feel like that was a little bit of a... There's too many. All of them. I can't... Evan David has a lot of questions, but the first question is, who's your favorite monster / villain? I think the Cybermen. Just whenever they're there, there's just a level of intensity that's not there from before. I think the Cybermen. B, oh, there's hair just sticking. Which would you rather have in real life? A working sonic screwdriver or a working piece of psychic paper? Ooh, what a hard sonic screwdriver. I was gonna be like, what a hard question, but I've more thought about sonic screwdriver. Psychic paper would be great, but sonic screwdriver could just get you out of a jam. I'm not really in a jam all the time, but sonic. Just so I could be like, look, you know? Or I could have the sonic glasses. Actually, I would probably prefer the sonic sunglasses. Which characters from a non-Who related fictional universe, i.e. TV show, movie, etc., would you most like to see travel in the TARDIS, and or which non-Who related fictional universe would you most like to see the TARDIS crew land in? Legends of Tomorrow. Reason being, there's already a Doctor Who actor that was on that show, Rip Hunter, aka Rory Williams, aka Arthur Duvall. Darvel? I don't think I pronounced that right. And it fits in with that, like, the time travel and all that stuff. Something that wasn't that, though, I don't know, I'd probably put them on, like, probably put them on, I don't know. Actually, I think Legends of Tomorrow is the perfect show. If you had the chance to meet one person from Who, an actor, writer, showrunner, etc., in real life, at a convention or something, who would you choose and why? I would probably either go with Karen Gillan or Peter Capaldi. Peter Capaldi, I would just like to thank him for his lovely performance in the show. If I could say just one thing to him, it would be that. I probably wouldn't be able to speak. I probably won't be able to speak. I ever had the honor of meeting him. But, and for Karen Gillan, I don't know why. I just feel like she's a lovely person. I mean, everyone just seems so lovely, but I think those two that I would like to eat more. If you had the chance to create a new monster villain for the show, what would they be like? I would probably pick something that maybe shows like past memories, so we can have like a fun episode where we just see old scenes. Because I love those episodes where we just like remember the time and it's like a flashback scene. I love those. Maybe something that like touches your head and just makes you go back into that moment. And also give a nice nostalgia trip and maybe have some new unlayered performances, that sort of thing. Following Captain Jack's brief return this season, which other former companions would you like to see most like to see back for an episode and why? River. I think River's my #1. So probably River. I'm just gonna continue saying River. I mean, I would love to see like Martha and Mickey and Clara. Like, I would love to see everybody come back. But if I had to pick one, it would be River. Which past new Who Doctor would you most like to see come back for the 60th anniversary special in 2023, assuming there is one, of course. I hope there is one. 9, 10, 11, or 12. And no, you can't just say all of them. if I had to pick someone to interact, well, by 2023 there's going to be a new Doctor. So that's the thing, like whoever's playing the Doctor at that point, I'd have to watch them, and then whoever I would most want to see them on screen with, that would be that. But 11. I don't know why. 11. I think because we had 10 return for the 50th special. But then again, all of them. I could say all of them. It's my channel. I can do whatever I want. All of them. Every single one of them. Even 13, even though her run will have just ended like 2 years before. Yeah, 2021. Well, I don't know. Right? Because we'll have the 3rd season in 2021. And then her special might be leading into 2022. But still, I don't know. Wow, that's crazy, 2022. I just said that. Andrew asks, what do you think has been the strongest part of Doctor Who in Series 12? For me, it was seeing her darker... for the Doctor, sorry. For the Doctor in Series 12. For me, it was seeing her darker side, particularly when she discovered what the Master has done to Gallifrey. Ooh, yeah. I think having the darkest has given 13 so much more depth. Yes, it's added layers. Before she was just trying to figure... the thing that's interesting is, you know, in Series 11, she was so full of hope. She was so hopeful all the time, and Jodie played her as a woman who has so much hope and joy. And when the Master came back and Gallifrey was destroyed, that sparked. That I just spat a little bit again. I'm very passionate. That sparked that hope starting to diminish, and that reveals more and more of the Doctor that we've seen in the past. And I think that that right there, that her vulnerability and her anger and every layer of her performance, this series made me fall in love with her as the Doctor. It did. Like, before I liked her as a Doctor, now I love her as the Doctor. Dan Pegg asks, do you think we will see the Cyber Lords and the Master again in the future? Yes, 100%. I didn't notice this the first time, but apparently the Master, when everything was blowing up, was like, all right, you got get in here, and then it cut off. So, of course. And also, I watched a video of, like, the Doctor and the Master on the Doctor Who YouTube channel, and just the way the actors were talking about each other and being so happy to work together, and the showrunners and the EP were just like, oh, they were electric on screen together. That right there just shows me that there's no way we're going to have a final season with Jodie as a Doctor and not have him back as the Master. Tyrose, with a doubtful success of some of the episodes these last 2 seasons, which ones would you choose to compile a perfect one season? This is probably my favorite question, and I had to think about this. This, again, is a tentative list. I went through and I made it a 13 episode season. Technically 14, but we'll get into that in a second. Because there are some episodes in here that I didn't particularly love, but I felt like they were needed to flush out our characters and to give more of a well-rounded, like, oh, these are our characters. You know what I mean? Episode 1, which is 11X01, The Woman Who Fell to Earth. We need a way to introduce Jodie as the Doctor. We need a way to introduce all these companions. Of course I had to pick that. Ignoring the cliffhanger where they're all just in space. Get rid of that part and kind of just write them going into the TARDIS. Then, yeah, no, because I didn't put episode 2. What's episode 2? Ghost Monument on this list. But for episode 2 in my perfect series is Rosa, which is actually 11X03. That one I felt like gave such a good idea of what the tone was like for series 11, and it also was just a beautiful, heartbreaking episode, and it also is, you know, you can kind of see the Doctor and the companions start to know each other. Episode 3, which was actually, well, episode 3 in this fake series compiler, my perfect season, is Kerblam, which is actually 11X07. I liked Kerblam. It felt more like a Doctor Who episode to me, and it was fun. There was a callback to the Feds. I like that episode. Episode 4 in this perfect season, perfect, whatever. Episode 4, Demons of Punjab. I really hope I'm pronouncing that right, which was actually 11XO6. That was one of my favorite episodes in Series 11, and it gave some emotional moments, and it was kind of just, everyone kind of liked it, you know what I mean? That was one of the ones that I actually reacted to and I enjoyed. And then episode 5, episode 5 for this season, It Takes You Away, which was actually 11XO9. I like that episode. I remember watching it and after finishing it going, oh, that was actually a pretty good episode. I didn't mind that episode. And I feel like that would be a good stopping point, and there would be a mid-season special like they did in season 7. No, yeah. Was it season 7 or was it season 6? No, season 7. Like they did in season 7 with the snowmen, with Resolution being that. Because Resolution, it allowed, because it would be like those 5 episodes, then a mid-season special, and then like a little break, and then we'll go into the next one. But Resolution, I felt, and then it also, because it's like introducing the Daleks, and we got to see more of a layered performance with Jodie and everything like that, and it gave some companion moments. And then after a mini break, it would come back with episode 6 being Spyfall Part 1, which was actually 12XO1, and then episode 7 would be Spyfall Part 2, which was actually 12XO2, because, you know, you have there's an arc. And then episode 8, I would pick Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror, which was actually 12XO4, and then for episode 9, I would pick Fugitive of the Judoon, which was actually 12XO5. Episode 10 would be Can You Hear Me, which was actually 12XO7. The reason I put that in there, I wasn't going to put that in there, but it flushed out our companions so much. It gave us so much. It was a companion-centric episode, and I felt like we needed to have that in there. We need to have it in there for this, you know, constructed Series 11-12 combination series to really start to fall in love with these companions. Episode 11 would be The Haunting of Villa Diodata. We're not even going to try. Which was actually 12XO8. And then episode 12, Ascension of the Cybermen, which was actually 12XO9. And then episode 13, The Timeless Children, which was actually 12X10. That would be my... I feel like my camera is like, you've been talking for a really long time because my card was full. That would be my constructed Series 11 and 12 combination season. And if you would want to do that, in the comments below, if you're interested in doing that, feel free, because I would love to see what other people are, are thinking about that. Edward asks, which season has been your favorite so far and why? Feel free to include cinematography, character development, and scripts in the answer. I already answered this earlier. I kind of gave a list, but I want to talk more about it. Series 4, it was a tie. Picking between Series 4 and 9 has always been an issue for me when it comes to my favorite. Series 9, in my eyes, is almost not a perfect season, but almost a season that I loved whole way throughout. The only episode I didn't like was Sleep No More, because that one just gave me a headache. But every other episode I really liked. So for that, it was one of those things where I could go back and rewatch an episode out of that, and then rewatch a 2-parter and be like, oh, happy majority of the time. The last 3 episodes, maybe not so much. But Series 4, I think, hit above that because of that 3-part finale, and the River Song, and the Dr. Donna, like everything about it was so fun. Even the weaker episodes, which there were some in there, were good, and I liked them. The bantering, everything about it was great, and I don't think I have been as hyped as I was in those moments when I was watching, the doctor talk to Donna, and Donna was talking about a girl who had blonde hair, and the doctor was like, what was her name? What was her name? And so just hopeful, but scared and vulnerable, and then Bad Wolf and everything, and not everyone. That it has to be that. It has Series 4 just was so good, and gosh, I'm gonna rewatch this show. I think, before, because I just love it so much. Paul Keyword, I think this is the last question. Oh my god, it is the last question. Wow. We did it. I can't wait to do this again when Series 13 airs. Because these are a lot of fun to film, even though I feel my voice slowly starting to get rambly. Paul Keywood asks, as you are now caught up with this series, do you wish you had watched them slower or reacted to more stories and therefore not as long as a gap? It's interesting. I've had this fleeting thought in my head when it comes to that, when it comes to, man, maybe I should have just taken it at a slower pace. Maybe I should have just, and I know deep down that wouldn't have happened. I would have said to myself, oh, just take your time, like watch one a week. It wouldn't have happened. When I get into a TV show, I get into it and I watch all of it. I want to watch it all immediately, so I know it wouldn't have happened like that. But I'm also glad that I'm caught up, because if I would have not watched this series as it was airing, I would have gotten spoiled 100% by John Barrowman, by TV outlets, by Tumblr, by Instagram, by Twitter, by YouTube, by something. I would have gotten spoiled, and I would have hated getting spoiled on, because say I didn't know, or say I was in the middle of Series 7 at this point, I would have known about the Master, and I would have heard about the Master coming back, and I would have been like, mother frick, you know, now I know, and I would have heard about Jack coming back, and I would have been like, fuck, you know, I would have loved to see that in real time, and I'm so glad I did. So at the end of the day, no, I do not regret watching it at the pace I did. And that's the thing too with how I released the reactions, is how I was watching them, very in rapid succession, and a lot of people were very like, give me more, I want to see you react to this one, you know what I mean? I was happy to put them out, and I'm glad that I did it, whatever I did. So yeah, that is the last question for this Q&A video. I hope you enjoyed this. I don't know, wait, where's my phone? No. Oh, it's 12:05 at night, so forgive me. I was like, where's my phone? And that's how I've been looking at my questions right in front of me this entire time. I've been filming, I think, for about an hour now, so this video will probably be an hour or close to it, which, yeah, or maybe even longer than that. I don't know actually how long I've been filming. It might actually be a little bit longer. I don't know. I guess we'll find out by the runtime. Here, ready? Past Shayla, is going to look into the future right now. Oh, wow, that's how long we've been, oh wow, I didn't think it was gonna be that long. Interesting. Okay, everyone, that was a Doctor Who Q&A video. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I suggested a lot of things in this, or asked you guys for a lot of opinions on like what I should do when it comes to Classic Who, and also I got some questions about Sarah Jane Adventures, and that's another thing too, is like I'd have to figure out how to dive into that, you know, and if I were to dive into that, but yeah, I don't really know. I don't have any set in stone plans for right now. It could change over the summer, or, you know, within the next couple weeks I could be like, oh, I'm inspired to watch this now, or Sarah Jane or something, or I don't know. But nothing set in stone. I'm always up for taking suggestions, but, you know, hopefully people have watched this all the way through. If you haven't, I won't blame you. It's probably a very, I mean, it is a long video. I just saw the timestamp earlier because Future Shayla just sent that to me. But again, this is a long video, and I wouldn't blame you for not watching the entire thing, because it's a whole lot of me just talking the entire time. But hopefully people, and then there won't be a lot of repeat comments saying like, oh, were you going to react to this? I'm like, well, I just did the video, but I know, like, again, like, if you haven't watched it long, I don't blame you. But yeah, I don't know what's coming up next for Doctor Who. Oh, actually, I do have an idea. That'll probably be a community post. If you are curious on future Doctor Who episodes or Doctor Who content, I probably will post a questionnaire or some type of poll over on my community post. So if you are wanting to know what's coming up, periodically check over there if you're interested. because I already have a few ideas mulling in my head about what I could do. But yeah, that's everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I really enjoyed this. I had a lot of great questions, a lot of fun questions, and now I have 2 questions for you. I put a question of the day in my description box, and I'm going to put 2 of the questions that I'm going to put 1 question there. I'm going to put the which Hogwarts house do you think each doctor's at? And then if you want to answer any of the other questions that I posed during this Q&A, you know, the one about, what was the other one? The creating your own season. I would like to see that one. That one maybe would be cool, but that one that takes a little bit of like, oh, what's this one? But yeah, okay, that's everything. Again, I said that probably 3 times at this point, but I'm trying to make sure that I have everything down. It's 12:09 at night. But then again, I could probably talk about Doctor Who for hours. So I'll see you guys next time for more Doctor Who things. Just shifting all around. Trying to figure out how I should. Ready? Yeah, we'll do this because it's fun and I love doing it. It's my thing now. It's been my thing actually for a long time. I wonder how long. I know I asked this question before. How long have I been doing Peace Out Girl Scouts? I'm gonna go back and put the date on the screen. Oh no. But then it's gonna take me longer to. I'll either do it or I won't do it. There will be a flash on the screen if I did it or not, or it'll be a big text box. Oh. Got startled by the text box. Okay. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Peace out, Girl Scouts. Ooh, that was a great snap.